Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Friend Time. Tonight we're going to be talking about the best Forgotten Angels memories. Tonight I have Bleak Rides with me. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
And Gma Rides. Lila. Say hi, Lila. Everybody pretend Lila said hi. And I am your host, Randy Ryder. All right, so tonight we're talking about our best memories from Forgotten Angels. So Blake, tell us the first time you went to Forgotten Angels, and we'll start with when you got there. First impressions. What happened when you got there?
I've never made it to a Forgotten Angels.
Why do I keep forgetting that? I've actually seen you
I
in two different places.
Yeah, well, because I go to other places too. My first attempt to go to Forgotten Angels.
Why can I
uh,
not hear you?
Check your plug. Check your audio. Can you hear us now? Can you hear me now?
we had her. She was here before.
I did have her. Go ahead, Billy. I'm going to talk to her. I'm going to text her, see what she's got going on.
Well, a few years back, I had joined the Shade Tree Army Discord, and I had learned of the camp out that was going to happen, and I had grown a friendship with a couple of guys in that Discord, Crazy Cooter and Remote Coder, and we were all going to ride down to Forgotten Angels. And I had only been riding at that point, coming up on 2 years, and I had a little Z900 Cafe Racer, and had decided it was in my best interest to try to take that to Forgotten Angels in Florida. It wasn't ergonomically necessarily the best, and I didn't have that sort of built-in rider muscle that you get from years of twisting throttle, of having a helmet on your shoulders. And I can tell you, with all humbleness, I got to Atlanta and I was done. Physically exhausted, mentally defeated. I wanted to achieve more than anything, but I didn't have
Those
another
headsets off my chair in there. You can plug into here and listen.
mile left in me. And the guys I was with, they were really cool about it. Said, just try to meet up with us in the morning. And I stressed about it. I got a hotel. I hopped back on the highway like in the morning. I learned something about myself then, what I was going to push for, what I was going to try to do. I wasn't going to give up. But by the time I did get to Atlanta, I had given it everything I had to give. I was sinking. And I told everybody when I got there, again, with all the humbleness of accepting one's own defeat, I could not drive this bike another mile. And I hopped on an airplane and flew home.
So that was a pretty big endeavor just to try to drive a naked bike all the way from Des Moines, Iowa,
Yeah.
down to Forgotten Angels. That's a long way.
Well, it was a wonderful teaching experience that I wouldn't trade in for the world. It sort of began the path that led me to where I'm at today with a great big old bagger.
And that's a smart way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll be much more comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So tonight we have with us, obviously GMR Rides is with us in chat and here. Greg Forehand, John Stanley, Journey of Jerry. Hello, Jerry, our bud,
Hey, Jay.
who also won't be making
Hi,
it this
Jerry.
time, but it's fine. Chris Toxicarius, Sick Bastard, the guy who stole my Dyna. Damn it. Ray's Moto. I know, right? How dare he win that bike and not let me have it? That's crazy.
Hey, Moto.
I did talk to him. The bike is still there. I'm going to talk him into letting me ride that bike because he said it's still there. He hadn't picked it up, so he'll be picking it up at this camp out. So Sick Bastard definitely will be there. So looking forward to that. So,
Nice.
Ready's Moto Life, Chasing Ghosts, my girl from Texas, Daniel McClellan, and Joey Stromboli. So welcome everybody. Glad to have you here. So if any of you guys have your favorite memories from Forgotten Angels, or if you'd like to remind us, put it in the chat, and we'll be sure to tell everybody about it. So you did. So it's funny because you were actually in people's videos from that trip you tried to make, because you were in Chase's video because he met y'all somewhere in Georgia, I think, and actually recorded. Yeah, you and a couple other guys all make so I actually thought, did he make it and I didn't know, but yeah, and then I got to see Eureka Springs,
Yep.
which you had another bike problem in Eureka Springs. What, did you lose a bolt or something on the way back? Or
The gearbox had made a noise, and then um, I think that was a piece of road debris flapping up and hitting. But a little bit later, a check engine light came on, and again, sort of new, apprehensive, what does it all mean kind of mindset. Um, I got pretty worried about the bike. I mean, I was going through worst case scenarios in my head. Um, and I ended up grabbing a U-Haul. Something about U-Haul. If you tell them you want to transport a motorcycle, all the things I learned on these trips, they will tell you, is it empty of fluids? To which I'm like, no, I rode the damn thing. Why would it be empty of fluids? And they're like, well, if it's not, we have to rent you a trailer as well. Otherwise, we can't have it in the vehicle. It's an insurance problem.
yeah,
And I was like, that's, you're double dipping me. And they said, well, that's policy. Do you want the rental or not? And long story short, I get the bike back and I show it to the mechanic. And he's like, there is nothing wrong with this
yeah, the
bike. It
volume
checks
is
out
too low.
perfectly. I find no issue with the gearbox. I find no issue with anything. You might have got some water in it. And you said you kept riding. You might have even burned it back out of there. And like 5 starts later, check engine light went off.
I did that with my last BMW. I got water up in the magnetic pickup, and it wouldn't start. And so I left it in the garage for 2 weeks. And by the time I got it down to him, I trailered it down to him. By the time I got there, it was dry.
Yeah.
So after that, I would just leave it in the garage, let it warm up a little bit, take it out, and it only usually take like a couple of days. Leave it parked for a couple of days, take the other bike for a while, take off, and not this one. The Grand America has been fantastic to me. That K16 is a beast. But the 99, it probably needed some seals replaced. It needed some, like the starter and the alternator seals probably needed to be replaced. So I was picking up a lot of extra moisture. But yeah, it's sometimes, like we were talking about earlier, sometimes it pays just to learn to do a lot of that mechanical stuff yourself, electrical stuff, and wait it out and see if you can fix it yourself. Because luckily they didn't charge me. I still had to pay the tow truck, but they're like, yeah, this is something that happens all the time. So they were pretty good to me. If you haven't been there, Performance Plus in Memphis is fantastic. There are a lot of great guys. So any of you in the Memphis area, stop by because they do awesome work. They do all metrics, and they do a lot of import stuff. I've never seen a Harley there. They've sold some of the smaller Harleys there, but they literally work any metric, whether it be European or Japanese, German, you name it, they've got it. Lala, I was wondering when Lala was going to get here since Joey was already here. So welcome to everybody. They're not far from each other. All right, so Jima, go ahead, Billy.
I was gonna say, don't tell my wife this, but I've been perusing Marketplace again, looking for a victory. I've got it in my head that I'm an Iowan. I need a victory. It just makes sense.
If I could get another gunner, I would snap it up in a minute because that was the best bike, dude. That bike was awesome.
Oh yeah, the stories I hear of people's victories, I'm just like, I'm sold, and if I could find the right one, it would be worth like maybe moving out of the Vulcan 900 and having a victory street bike, street cruiser or something, and yeah, we'll see.
All right, so Gma, tell us about the time you got on a motorcycle like an idiot and drove for, what was it, 20? Is it up to 29 days now? Is that what we're telling people? Took you 29 days on the road?
Actually, riding time was 19 days.
But yeah, altogether, you trucked it. So it took you, was it 10 days to get down and 9 days back, or did you actually, I have that backwards?
Yeah, it was about that. It was about 9 days down.
Anybody ever tell you you're like an old lady? And when I grow up, I want to be an old lady. When I grow up, I want to be an old lady too.
I don't listen to what people tell me. That's the secret.
No, I've rode with you. I know better. So
I just do what I like to do.
Yeah, and it had a good time.
Yeah. It was memorable. It was really memorable.
Made some good memories, made some good videos, met some nice people.
I did. Yep. Yeah, planning on doing it again.
Excellent.
Yeah, just not this time.
So
But yeah, definitely going to write down.
So what was your favorite memory from the last camp out?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Oh, I
you.
think working in the food shack. I had a blast. It's like I said last time we talked about it. It's the easiest way to get to know people. Here, take this food. Oh, okay. And I got such a kick out of it's like they all wanted to know who I was, and then I was like, "Oh, my name is Lila," because that's who I am. And so they're like, "Oh no, I think I know you." And so I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm G my right." Oh, I know you. I was like, "Oh my God!" It was so weird,
It's
to
funny
have
people
people
don't
know
know
you
your real
by your
name.
weird
Yeah.
name. Yeah, yeah. My daughter and I were out Christmas shopping and we walked into a store and the girl that was checking me out looks at me and she goes, "Oh, you're Jima Rides." I was like, "Yeah." My daughter just started rolling her eyes because she always says I can't go somewhere and not know somebody anyway. So this has just gotten exponentially more,
Hometown
but it's a
hero.
lot of fun.
Buck
It's
Brown
a
just stepped in.
blast.
So
Nice.
Lala says that her and Joey are a matched pair. If one of them's there, the other one's going to be there.
And they are a great pair too, aren't they?
Yeah,
I
pretty
love
cool
meeting
set.
them. Yeah. I still have that little pig thing that she gave me in my windshield bag on my bike.
Oh God, those things. Yeah, it was cute at first. Those things were driving me nuts at the end. I was like, oh my God, everybody's getting these
Oh
damn
yeah,
things. But
yeah.
it was cool.
I had
Everybody
to
enjoyed
take
their
the
pigs.
squeaker out. Yeah.
So
There's a kid up here in one of the hog chapters giving them out too.
tell us about the travels of your little friend that came with you. And did you give her back yet? To
Oh,
your
traveling JoJo?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, she's still in the hospital. She's doing okay. I took pictures with her. Are you talking about the little girl's picture that I had with me?
No, the animal you had, the one you were bringing back, you were taking
Oh,
pictures of.
oh, yeah, the panther.
Tell
My
us about that one
daughter.
too. Tell us about both of them. Why not?
Okay, well, the panther, that little black stuffed animal that was waving from my handlebars, is the mascot for my daughter's middle school. She's a middle school teacher, and a lot of her kids are in foster care. So before I left, I took a United States map and I went to her school and I talked all day long because they were just getting ready to study epic journeys. So I talked to them about the epic journey I was going to have, and they gave me that panther to travel with me. So I set up a private YouTube channel and a private Facebook page for them so that they could watch the travels of he and I as we were going cross country. And he's
Oh,
still on my handlebars.
Cool.
that's
Sky
Yeah,
just
he had
stepped
a
in. So
blast.
Paul's saying, glad to have met you last summer. You know what's weird? And I was just talking about this to Billy. You'll meet somebody, and we make so many trips through the year. I was convinced on the
Yep.
last time that where we all met up was on Easter Sunday. And I was like, yeah, we were at Easter Sunday. We were all up at Land Between the Lakes. I know we were. That's where we were. And they're like, no, that's not where we were. And I'm like, no, Easter Sunday.
That was
Then,
funny.
and then I finally realized we were in Nashville at the Nashville meetup when we all went to all the weird places. So, but we make so many trips all through the year. I'll see
Yep.
somebody and think I saw them somewhere else. It is freaking insane. Cool though. Cool that we get to do this. That this is the life we get to live, running around America, seeing each other at
My
campouts.
I agree. The bonds I've forged with my brothers and sisters of the road are very meaningful to me and quite a bit deeper than some of the ones I've made with people I've interacted with for years. Um, it's just a shared experience. Maybe it's a shared suffering that
That makes it better.
it does that we can all kind of relate to, and the gravitas that suffering has its own gravity that pulls us all together as well.
I think it is. It's like, so we're at the Land Between the Lakes. It was hot in the day, cold at night, and then it rained. And then we're all trying to run to the bathroom in the rain. The next day we got up, plan on taking showers, and all of a sudden it was 90 degrees again. Nobody wanted to go take a shower because it was so hot. The water coming out of the faucet, no matter which one it was one of those faucets you had to turn.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to find neutral per se, and you couldn't find a cold spot on the shower. So it's like it's 90 degrees. All I get's hot shower. But it was funny because we all had the same problem, so we all got to share the same problem. So it was kind of neat. Oh, you have a visitor.
I do. I have my co-director.
He's growing.
Oh yeah,
So when you first got that cat, it was tiny.
yeah.
Tiny,
She
ain't
was a
tiny no more.
rescue. Mom abandoned her as just a 4 week old behind our stairs out on our back patio. And the wife was like, we got to save that cat. And I'm like, I agree, but I don't think I can move these stairs. What are we going to do? So I devised, I'd dig a tunnel under these big concrete stairs to just have this cavity. And as I started digging the tunnel, little kitten comes walking out. I'm like, well, there's a space between the stairs and the
Yeah.
house. I'm like, that's way easier than what I was hoping to do, you know, uh, so perfect. And yeah, we took her to the vet, and the vet said, yeah, she's a good, healthy. You're gonna have to bottle feed her. You're gonna have to do this and that. We're like, all right.
Good
And
catch.
she has no mice to chase, so she brings me socks every morning. And over the course of a week, I end up with enough pairs upstairs on my table that I can actually just make a pair and wear them that day. So it works out.
That's convenient.
Yeah,
Too cool. Yeah, just yeah, leave the clean clothes in the basket down in the laundry room, and she'll bring them up to you.
yeah. Hopefully someday she brings me a whole outfit.
Yeah, hell yeah. What she's got to get bigger first.
Yeah.
She's got to get bigger. Sky's Limit just stepped in.
Hey,
Welcome,
what up?
Sky. Yeah, it is funny about names because sometimes I hear somebody's real name and I'll be like, who? Oh, yeah, that's who you're talking about. Or there's so many, like I said, there's so many mics, you you forget who they're talking about. But you know their biker name. We made fun of that at the last when I went up to the Harley training because all the guys had really boring names, and one of the tables had really cool names. One table was Billy and Mike and Mitch and Chastity, but then the last table was Killshot, Vino, and Lawless.
Yes.
And Lawless was this 40-year-old lady who was probably just put her last kid on the car to go to college, but and decided she's going to get a motorcycle license. Again, that's the coolest life we get to lead. Is it's it's the best part probably of living the midlife crisis life because you're not doing anything crazy and stupid and dandy. You're just trying to do things you've never done before. And I think that's awesome to see people who've never rode a motorcycle before just decide one day, I'm going to ride a motorcycle and then love it. The looks on those faces when I went to that Harley training of these people who had never rode bikes before or had a bike and couldn't ride it well or just decided one day they didn't even have a bike. They're like, I just think I want to ride. The looks on their faces reminded me of the first time I got on a motorcycle. And like a lot of us, you get on a bike and you're like, I'm never getting off. I will own a bike for the rest of my life. No one will take it away from me. They will get hurt if they do. And it's just a great life.
It enveloped my whole life, and I'm lucky enough to have a wife who's understanding and supportive, for that matter. Ultimately, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, but it's nice when you're supported in that journey as well. And what it does for me mentally, mostly mentally. I wouldn't say physically. Physically is kind of the counter. It beats the hell out of me. But what it does for me mentally helps. It solves a lot of the stuff I deal with internally. Because for at least the time I'm on the bike, nothing else matters. And that level of freedom, that level of clarity and purity, it's very lost. One of the things I love about our meetups, and I know probably this one at Forgotten Angels, there will be enough of us who are tubers filming. But one of the things I like is most of the time you don't see a bunch of people with their phones out. You see people actually interacting the way we're meant to. You see people making bonds. And when I say bonds, I mean stuff that I remember to this day. When I made it to Atlanta on my first attempt to go to Forgotten Angels, I met a man named David. I was riding with, I had rode with Tori and a David, but I met a cog in the wheel, and I met Two Wheel Terror. and I met um, Evil Penguin. I think I met a whole bunch of the guys at the hotel, and they were all like, "Oh, hey, we had been interacting a little bit," and I told them all, "Yeah, I'm not going to be continuing on or whatnot." And that hotel was having a problem with their electric door locks, and Two Wheel Terror said, "Oh, it's going to be a couple hours before they can give you a room. Well, take mine. I'm heading out, and that way you're not just sitting here." And I thought, man, that's the nicest move anybody could have done. You want me to take your room? He's like, yeah, just I'm done with it. I said, that's so nice. Thank you so much. And he didn't at the time per se know me from Adam. I've now had the chance to go to another event with him down in Missouri. Nicest man. I met his wife. Nicest people. And that's what I mean when I say there's no community like the motorcycle community. And the people you'll meet here and the friendships or bonds that lead to, I don't know, I call people brother and sister now,
Yeah.
are so great, so deep. They're unlike, they're kind of what's missing. They're the sense of community that's missing from the fabric of 2024 society, at least where we're at.
Oh, absolutely. I hate to sound cliche, but I mean, it just kind of restores your faith in humanity, knowing that
Yes.
there's people out there. One, I mean, this is a great charity, and I think that's why this group is different than a lot of other groups. The charity is there to help people, and so people come with that open mind of wanting to help. And when you open your mind like that, you use that in your everyday life, and it changes you. And I can't say that enough. Just getting involved in this charity, and I see it in a lot of people. I see it in Josh. I see it in, Weems was already a giver, but then he got involved in a lot of other charities because once you start giving and you give from the heart, it's like you go, well, how else can I give? How else can I be effective? How else can I be a decent human being and be an effective human being given the tools I have? And it just changes you. And I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world. It's just too much
Yeah.
good. Once you find out you can do good, you don't want to stop.
Right. I did enough bad.
Yeah.
I did enough
If
bad in my time.
you guys got any questions, throw them down in the comments. Make sure you write, at Rainy Rider or at Bleak Rides, and where we'll see them pop up.
Yeah, let me pull
But
mine up.
other than that, you guys can just have fun in the chat, talk about anything you want to. Tell us about your favorite times at the camp out. I haven't been monitoring this like I would because it's just me and him in here. Normally I'd have somebody watching this for me, but so who all in the chat is coming? Let's see. I know, obviously I'm coming. Gmail's not going to make it. Obviously the Strombolis are going to make it. Sick Bastard's going to make it because he's got a bike to pick up. I know Dylan McClellan told me he's coming. Julie Smith, I'm not sure. Toxicaris is coming. He's trailering down. I think he's coming down with his son this time. I think he talked to us about it. He told us about it the other night. Moto Mortician, I missed him in the chat. Mark, hello. Another guy who's a multi-time winner, won lots of stuff out at the camp out. I'm sure. I don't even have to ask if Moto Mortician's coming. I'm sure he
Now,
is.
I've watched enough camp out videos from other creators to know a few things or to suspect a few things, like that there's a karaoke event,
Yes.
karaoke event,
Okay.
karaoke that's
Japanese for
held.
I'm drunk and trying to sing.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the beauties of karaoke is you get to see people kind of at their most vulnerable, and it's also a very pure thing seeing somebody at their most vulnerable. Especially, well, I don't know. I assume probably 90% or so within reason who step onto a stage to sing karaoke are not professional singers or even trained in music, and I am not either. So you know, it's always something you do, and you look back later and think, "Wow, I'm glad I made it through that."
I think, and again, we've got good karaoke singers there. Let me fix my camera; it's being a little goofy. We
That's nice.
we
Thank
have good karaoke camera or singers there, and we have bad karaoke singers there. But even the bad ones sing with such fervor and vigor that you wouldn't know. I mean, you don't care if they're bad because they're just having a good time. And when somebody's having a good time doing something, even if they're not good at it, you know, it's contagious. It rubs off on you. That's like when you go to if you've ever played pickup football, everybody's just out there having fun, and you're not really playing by the rules anymore because you're really not playing to win. You're just out there to have fun, and then it doesn't matter who's good, who's bad, who's winning, because everybody just is out there having fun. And that's probably more important than anything. We're just having fun.
Uh, you know, one of the, I guess, big things that I want to do is I do this here at the couple of bars I go to here is to plaster a sticker somewhere, and whether it be the Dirty Shame or a place similar, I want to go to a local bar there and sort of see the scene, see what it's like. I hear so many stories here in Iowa. We hear stories of Florida men and the stuff they're doing down there, and it seems like such fantasy. It's such a fantasy land. Uh, Exciting.
Jerry will not make it this time. So, Journey of Jerry, you have to nominate somebody to sing Son of a Sinner. Do it in the Discord. You only got 3 days to do it.
Hey fam, hey
Get
Ro.
some names in there. Famine. So this must be one of your friends. So tell us about your friends here that are in the chat, because I don't know a couple of these guys.
Famine has joined us in Two Wheels, and he's who I sold the concourse to.
Oh,
It's not his first bike. He had bought a previous bike, and he flipped it. And I'm like, I've never even flipped a bike. That's awesome. He's going like everybody builds their own experiences on Two Wheels, and it's so interesting. I'm so excited for his journey. He went and did the MSF first. He's way better than your old boy Bleak. I started with no license and then went and got the license. Horse is always behind the cart, whereas Famine did it, I don't know, the proper way. And now he's out riding, and he's been practicing and just taking to it like a moth to flame. In fact, the day I saw him take off, I was like, "Oh, you're a natural. No jerkiness. No, oh, you got this. Oh, I'm excited. You'll do just fine." And you worry because I had another buddy who, when I watched him learn to ride, I was worried. He was pretty jerky. I was like, this is where a whiskey throttle happens. This is where you don't know what a clutch is, and Famine never gave me that scare. So he's a longtime friend, and yeah, and Rose, longtime friend, and just two of my favorite people, and me and the wife's best friends, and yeah.
very cool. Yeah, it's hard to sell a bike, especially if it's a bike you have a lot of memories. If you made a lot of memories on, because yeah, the R1100, the RT that I had, my wife bought that for me when I was overseas when I was deployed, and when I got home, we went like the day after I got home. We drove up to Wisconsin, picked up the bike. I followed her on that bike all the way back to Wisconsin, or back to St. Louis. Oh, Gma's in twice.
Mm-hmm.
Let me cut her. But so as soon as I got home, then we went and rode to Indiana. We rode to Kentucky. We rode to Ohio. We rode all through Tennessee.
Apparently, my internet is going to come in and out.
I think it is. Can you hear us now? I have you on here twice. I'm going to try to cut one of your streams here. But when I got back, I mean, we made a lot of memories on that bike.
So freaking annoying.
So I think I'm going to cut this one. Hi, Gma. Hi, Gma. Bye, Gma. Okay, she's logged on at two places, so she must be on her. Anyway, when I went to sell it, a guy came and he was like, "Yeah, I've heard these bikes have way too much power." And I'm like, "No, they don't have a lot of power. They only have as much power as you give them." He's like, "Well, I hear they, sometimes in the corner they can get away from you." And I'm like, "No, this is literally one of the most. It's a BMW R1100. I said it's one of the most stable bikes you can buy." And he's like, "Well, I don't know." And I said, "Well, if you want to, take her for a ride, take her around the neighborhood, and see if you like it." And when he came back, he goes, "I don't know, man. It's kind of scary." And I was like, "Okay, so this ain't the bike for you." At that point, I was like, "I'm not letting this guy take this bike because he's gonna either kill himself on it or destroy it." And I'm not sure what's worse, this guy dying or losing a bike that I've made a ton of memories on. So I said, "Okay, sorry, man. Maybe you shouldn't have this bike. That's not the bike for you." And I parked it back up. And I'm sure the guy probably felt slighted maybe I'm cutting into his manhood. I don't know, but actually maybe I saved the guy's life.
Yeah, you might have saved his life.
Did you save a guy's life?
I did.
Did you?
Are they leaving?
Yes, they left.
Okay. Well, here I'm going to put somebody else in the hot seat, and she's going to talk about her favorite times at the campout.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Good.
Oh, I haven't seen you since Arkansas. We were hanging out at the Rowdy Beaver. And,
okay, I remember now.
Yep, having drinks out on the patio.
That was lovely.
And, it was such a nice time.
Yes, it was. I wish I was going to FA.
I wish you were too.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you again.
I'd love to see you too, and everybody else.
Well, Rainey says you have stories that you're going to tell of your time at FA?
They're all fun. Riding with our little onesies and going and eating eggs.
Now, did you do any karaoke?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I didn't drink enough.
Well, Journey of Jerry was saying he can butcher a song real well. And
I probably could.
Yeah, I have the.
You'd be all laughing.
Voice of a banshee here.
I do a comedy skit.
Nice.
Hey, Jima. Where's Jima?
She's
got multiple.
I'm gonna try to fix this while you're talking.
Oh.
So I can get it fixed.
Are you coming alone, Bleak?
Yes. Yeah, my wife's staying here. We have a new little puppy.
Aw.
And, we have some interests that have to be attended to here.
Yeah.
And, so I will be doing the maiden voyage of my new bike.
Oh.
Shaking it through its paces, and hopefully
That'll be cool.
Yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed, as it were, everything goes well.
I'm sure it will.
Plan for everything.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I have to stay home with my puppy too.
How old?
She's 7 years old, but she's had to have surgery on Monday.
Oh no, what's going on?
She's got a thyroid issue, so they got to remove part of her thyroid. So,
okay.
To make her
Godspeed to a quick recovery.
To make her better, so I have to be here with her when she comes out and stuff.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, but otherwise, I'd be there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have I think there's still going to be quite a few people who, so we had met before, but there's a ton of people I haven't met, including Sky's the Limit.
He's cool.
Sick bastard, as Rainey was saying.
Yeah.
I'll have Jerry there in spirit because he sent me an incredible koozie.
Jerry's asking your favorite memory from that.
I have my koozie.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'll be using mine at the camp out, so he'll be with you in
Asking
spirit.
your favorite memory of FA.
What?
Jerry wants to know what your favorite memory of FA is.
Him. Him riding his motorcycle, and when he doesn't win, he throws down his motorcycle. Or when he does win, he throws down his motorcycle and puts his arms up.
Nice.
Let me see. Oh, there you are, G-Mom.
Jerry's giving you prayers for the puppy.
Thank you. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read this tiny writing.
I'll read it to you.
Oh, thank you, Sky.
She says, what was your very favorite thing, though, other than picking us up at the airport?
That was fun. I said watching Jerry throw his bike down.
The slow run?
No, Jerry throw his bike down.
The slow ride.
Put his arms up.
Slow ride. Tell him.
It was all fun. It goes by too fast.
That's what I assume. I'll be getting there probably later in the day or early evening, Friday. And
Yeah.
so I'll have time to throw a tent up, maybe meet some people, and then crash from that ride. So then I assume pretty much Saturday will be a long day because I
Yes,
want to
it will
meet all the
be.
people, do all the things, see all the sights, and then part of Sunday will be getting ready to go right back onto the road and head back.
Yeah. And you miss things you want to go see more things, or places you wanted to go eat at, or we never went to, what was the place on the water to eat?
Oh, River's Edge.
River's Edge. That's one place I wanted to go that we didn't get to go to.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen somebody else in the chat earlier was talking about River's Edge as the place for the trout sandwich.
Yum. That sounds good. But
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Alaskan cod. I believe it is. I love cod.
any fish sandwich sounds good to me right now.
Well, I don't know why I'm not overly fond of the pink fish, like I want to say tilapia or salmon.
Grouper sandwiches are good. That's what usually
Are
you
they?
get in Florida.
Lala said she
Grouper?
wants somebody to go with them to get grouper sandwiches.
Who?
Lala. So
Beershed in October.
so tell Lala we'll try to make a run to go get grouper sandwiches.
Lala,
Yes.
grouper sandwiches.
Sky, it'll be cool to meet Red Ryder. I mean,
I'm
incredible
sad that I
mechanic.
won't get to meet her.
Oh, such an incredible mechanic. Her videos
Yes,
are great.
she is. I'm sad that I won't get to meet her. It means she's going to have to come again, so I get to meet her.
You get to meet Lala. That's
going to be.
Red Ryder.
Red Ryder. No, okay.
It's
She'll be back.
1,473 miles there from Iowa to the Forgotten Angels camp out from Ujima. And
That's
then,
a ways.
So, same back, plus whatever I do there.
I remember it being in March. It's cold at night. I remember it being cold. But, you're coming from Iowa, so that shouldn't be too bad for you.
No, I've checked, and so Wednesday when I head out, I'm going to try to head out at like 4 or 6 in the morning. I try to drive during the day with the option of nighttime, because I don't see real great at night. And so I've upgraded my headlight to a real bright one within reason. I ain't trying to blind people, but I feel blind at night. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I'm planning a 12-hour window each day with which I ride, and again within reason. If it gets dark and I'm out on the road, I'm going to do what I got to do. But hopefully, I can make the mileage I have sort of calculated each day, and I have also left myself some time because if I see something cool on the side of the road, I want to stop. I want to stop and see
I'm
it.
glad.
I don't want to just fly straight through, or I would hop on an airplane and just fly down there.
Exactly.
I'm taking the bike because I want to see the country I live in.
Exactly.
And it means something to me as part of that journey that I do that. And it's almost as important as getting to meet all the people is, for me, the journey I get to have with myself and overcoming, I don't know, a lot of stuff I deal with.
Exactly. That's a good thing.
Yeah. And there's always something strange you see on the side of the road. I've seen
always
museums, giant balls of yarn.
Yeah, big gigantic chairs.
Giant chickens,
Giant chickens.
you can see from a mile away, and you're like,
yeah.
what is that giant chicken doing? I gotta go see that. And then
yeah.
you find out it's like the best breakfast place around.
Let's go.
Stuff. Yeah.
I want some giant chicken. All right.
Well,
yeah,
here's
Rainey. I think he wants me to give up his seat.
I'm feeling like someone took over.
Diana.
He thinks I took over. You can't come back.
The dog wants you.
I love you. I wish I could hug you.
Thanks, Sam.
I'm coming.
Finally. All right, I'm back. Yeah, she's an all right woman.
Yeah, she's the best. She's the
She
nicest
is.
lady. I
So,
had one of the most memorable conversations with your wife on that patio there at the Rowdy Beaver.
when it was pouring
Uh,
rain.
when it was pouring rain and we were waiting to meet up with, hold on, let's not leave yet. Shade Tree Surgeon himself is about to show up. And we're like, what? Like, yeah. And so we were all getting ready to sort of head off into town. And then we waited longer and a whole nother group showed up. That's how I got to meet Journey of Jerry and Whiskey Chaser. And like, I had a chance to meet a couple of these guys there, which was really cool. And the real interesting friendships I made were my sort of my Missouri connection. Um, I met a bunch of these Southern Missouri guys. Well, not a bunch, couple, and I really enjoyed their company. And so I met a man named Ken and a man named Tori, and I'd
Tori.
like to believe they're sort of my brothers now, and they will be my friends for life. And if one of them called me and said, "Hey, I need you here. I'm moving," I'd be like, "Fuck, all right, I'm on my way."
Yep. I actually did that for Two Will Goon. He was like, hey, I need help packing up my house. They're going to move me from Fort Campbell over to South Carolina. And me and Nar showed up, packed. I packed one day. The next day we got up, we packed some more. And I had to leave them. But yeah, it's like that's what you do for your friends. You do uncomfortable things for your friends.
Whether it's an hour or 100,
Yeah.
we try.
Because yeah, not because you expect something in return, but it's the right thing to do. And if it's a friend, it's like you're helping yourself.
And it's friends and family are sort of on the same leash with me, you know, like otherwise you don't have my number.
Yeah.
You know, so if they call, I assume it's important and I'm there to help. What can I do? You know, that's what and should I ever need the same, knowing that you have good people around you who can get your back when you need it, that lets you kind of walk through the world with a little bit more stable footing.
I tell people, somebody was telling me a while back, hey, can you stop sending me all these memes? You know, I'm like, look, you friended me. You're friends with me. You're stuck now.
Yeah.
If we're friends and I find out you have a cat and you're a cat person, I'm going to send you 100 memes about cats. If I find out you're a truck person or a motorcycle person, I'm going to send you every meme I can find because, you know, that's one of my languages. I tell everybody that's my language of love is memes. Because if I love you enough to meme you, that means I really care about you. If I see a good meme and I'm scrolling through all my friends just to know who to send it to, if I send you one, that means you're a friend of mine. If I pass you, it's probably because I either don't know you that well or I don't consider you a friend. So if you get a meme from me, consider yourself friended. That
Right.
actually means a lot.
And I check all that stuff. There's at least one point in the day where I go across all the social medias and I check them for any kind of messages. Just because I try to stay in that regard, I try to stay in contact. And if I I'm a comments reader, and if I get a comment from someone asking a question or wanting to express something, I want them to feel heard.
Yeah.
And I realize if I ever grow large on YouTube, which maybe I won't. So if I ever do, then maybe that won't be something I can do as proactively. But at least at this point in my journey,
I at
I'm
least
getting to
try
know
to.
everybody.
Yeah, I at
Yeah.
least try to either like their comment or like comment, love comment, or I'll comment to the comment. You know, if it's just a great job, Rainy, you know, I'll like it or love it. And but if they ask a question, one, you get again, there's people out there that just want to hear their own voice. But if somebody asks you a question, you owe it to them to answer because they watched your video, they paid attention to it enough to ask a question. You owe it to them to answer their question or to even to say something back. I'll even, you know, sometimes I'll get a nasty comment or a comment that I think might be rude, and I have to go, okay, did they really mean this nastily, or are they just commenting in the only way they know how? And if I'm not sure about it, I'll just say, you know, well, thanks for watching.
There's
So
times I question, am I mildly autistic because of my own behaviors? And my friends may back this up. And I read things very literally. So sometimes I'll read something and not even realize you're trashing me. I might even take it as a compliment, you know, like
Hey, thanks.
Yeah. Oh, hey, honey, you won't believe what this fella just said about your old boy Week.
Oh my God, you're the dirtiest biker I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
He called me
Oh,
a biker.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Oh,
Sammy.
G.
What
Sammy G, what's up, girlie?
what up?
So just like we're talking about friends making time for you, Sammy told me earlier she was going to be at a party. So Sammy making time to show up for me, that's a big thing.
Absolutely.
That's a big thing.
Absolutely.
Glad to have you here. So we're just talking about your favorite memories of Forgotten Angels. What was your favorite memory of the last Forgotten Angels? Got to be the ones you ride.
Oh, man. That is kind of one of my favorite memories. I don't know. I can't sum it up to one favorite memory, honestly. There's not just one. Not that I can think of offhand. There's not just one favorite memory.
So how many you've made? 2 now or 3?
This will be my third.
This will be your third. Yep. So you've actually.
Yeah.
So you trucked one, and did you rode the last one? You didn't truck the last one. You actually rode it.
No, I
did truck.
trucked both of
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll make it eventually.
Now,
One of these days.
You need a bigger bike.
I've been asking everyone. Now, Sammy, have you done the karaoke?
I did last year with Aaron, Sid. I think Juice was up there. I think we did a Backstreet Boys song.
I want it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking, who is singing that song? I look out there, there's 7 people singing it. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing that's
Oh,
fun.
My phone's falling.
But yeah, when it comes to karaoke, the weirder you can do it, the weirder it sounds, the better it is. If you can sing some song that makes everybody cringe, that's the best song to sing. And
Facts.
God bless it, that was the one. So what's your plans for this one? What day are you gonna show up? What are we planning on doing? Lala already invited us out for grouper sandwiches, so we got to make a grouper sandwich ride one day.
Ooh, I love grouper. I don't know. I'm just kind of going with the wind.
Then let's go with the wind. It's
Let's
funny.
go with the wind.
I always make plans. The only plan I usually end up keeping is going out for the breakfast ride. Besides that, dude, it's just craziness. It's craziness every time. So yeah, good choice. In the wind. I like it.
Well, yes, and I'd like to possibly try to hit the shame, but I'd really like to see Bert's Barracuda as well.
Yeah.
Is that Mike in the background?
He was. Oh, yeah.
Mike!
You can't hear it because I have my earbud in.
All right.
But it is him.
Tell Mike I love him and I'm going to give him a big hug.
He said he loves you. He's going to give you a big hug. He said love you too.
Right on, man. God, I love these people. This is why I love Ohio. I don't like the weather. I love the people.
Same.
All right. So obviously I've never made it to Stein and Vine. I've made it to the Coppertail. Never made it to the Shave. Never made it to Stein and Vine. Never made it to River's Edge. So let's put Lala in charge of getting us to one of those places for a grouper sandwich. Lala, are you for it? Are you with it? Can you do it? Whiskey Chaser just stepped in.
Okay.
Chase stepped in. Welcome, Whiskey Chaser. I was gonna try to get him on tonight, but he's working people job. He's adulting tonight. He's trying to make something for his trailer, being responsible. Here I am. I should be packing. I should be getting my stuff ready, but instead I'm trying Samuel Adams' best here. So maybe tomorrow.
I'm in Georgia right now, so I'm full party mode.
Oh hell yeah!
Nice. Oh yeah.
So what day are you gonna show up? I forgot. I may have talked over you. What day are you guys showing up?
Tuesday.
Okay, I'm leaving here Tuesday. I should be there Wednesday by like noon or so. So move down. You know where we had our little commune there? Make sure you save us a spot. I think 7 will be there, but the rest of us won't be showing up till like Wednesday-ish or so. So cordon off the whole area. Say it's ours.
Okay.
if you can.
You'll be there on Wednesday, you said?
Wednesday by noon, hopefully.
Okay. Well, Tuesday night, just to be safe, I can park my truck down there.
Okay.
Block off at least the truck's amount.
And hopefully it won't
Space.
rain. Yeah, hopefully it won't rain.
Hopefully.
It should be okay. Usually by Wednesday noon, I showed up Wednesday noon last time. There was barely anybody there. And by Thursday morning, that's when people really started showing up. So we should be all right.
Yeah.
All right. If anybody wants to jump in the chat, we have room. So Gma somehow left a spot open. She logged in on something and forgot to log out on something. I tried to close her window and it kept screaming at me, so I'm gonna leave it, I guess. Gma, that's your memory slot there. I guess we'll just leave you there.
She's with us in a way.
She's with us in spirit, yeah. I would say let's try to log out and log back in. We'll probably lose the connection, so I like to ask screw it. We'll just ride it out.
She's active in the chat.
Paco Pete just stepped in. She's very active in the chat. She's an active little girl. I'm gonna miss that she's not gonna be there. It's gonna be a cool thing.
Same.
If you guys got a chance, go ahead and like in the chat, the video now. I've noticed a lot of my videos are getting liked lately, and that makes me feel good. So keep making me feel good. Keep liking those videos. Keep hitting that like button. I do want to make it to the shame, but it seems like during the camp out, the shame is always hammered. It's always like everybody's going there. And it's not a big place.
Right. I really would like to go to the Shame because I've been down in Tampa area for like 4 times now and I still have not made it to the Shame. But I probably will go like Thursday night or maybe even Wednesday night.
Gma, your speaker's on.
I know. You have to put me back in, it says.
You're in. You're in.
You're in. You just have to pause your
go ahead and
sound.
Yeah, let me turn off my computer. Yeah, my laptop volume is on. Sorry.
It's fine. So I think you're still logged in on your laptop because it's holding a spot open for you.
How does it do that?
I don't know. It's the magic of technology.
The window we have with you now is very stable.
Yes.
So I'd almost say don't change it.
Don't change it. Yeah. Just close the other one out. Don't even. Yeah. So okay. So Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do still want to go to the Shame. I guess it's worth just a ride down there just to see it. I mean, even if you can't get
100%. 100%.
I don't know if it's anything like Iowa, but most bars don't open till like 2.
The bars?
Yeah.
In the afternoon?
Yeah, like GPs or the
in the afternoon. I was like, what? That's not like an after hours club. We had some of those in Norfolk, didn't open until 2 a.m.
Huh.
They didn't open until other bars closed. And they were the after hours clubs. And you had to be a member to get in. And so those were the daylight clubs. We called them the vampire clubs because everybody was trying to get out at dawn. And then as soon as you walked outside, it's like the sun hit you. You're like, crap.
Oh, yeah.
But you never. The cool thing with the after hours bars is you never got a hangover because you just stay drunk all night. So I've heard. I don't know. Toxicarius, welcome in.
Hi.
Cheers.
Okay. So
Okay, Gma.
should I close my?
Nah, just keep it
my
going.
laptop.
No, we're fine.
Okay.
Just keep it going.
All right.
We'll just hold you a spot open. That'll be your sister. That's your dark half.
Dark
Oh
Gma
my
is what I was
God.
thinking.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'll mess something up if we just leave it going.
You really don't want to see my dark side.
I know. I heard you.
Do I have to keep a YouTube video going to see chat? Is there a different way to see the chat?
No, the YouTube videos where you see chat. We'll tell you if something comes up. But
I'm not on YouTube at all. I'm just on the app. So I can't see any of the chat.
Are you on your phone then, Sammy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sammy's
Maybe I'll do that too.
Yeah, Sammy's in
It's
Georgia
really
just hanging
disconcerting
out.
to look at myself.
That's
Okay.
stable for a phone. That's nice, Sammy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Samsung.
Oh, very good.
I have a magnet on my case. I can stick it to the side of a
Samsung.
car or something.
Yeah, I didn't realize these quad lock cases have magnets in them. We'll
Yeah.
stick to all kinds of stuff.
So when I'm monitoring
Those are
my,
the new ones,
this
though.
is kind of weird. So when I'm monitoring, I stick it to the stapler. Where I
Oh,
can,
very cool.
and I can just.
I have mine propped up on, I don't know what this is, but I'm about to show you. Some kind of engine part, I'm assuming.
Oh,
Huh.
yeah.
It's a head. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
compressor motor.
Some
is that
kind
a
of
compressor?
engine part.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's a compressor.
Ah.
Nice. I got it propped up back there
We had, so when I was
because
in the
I'm in
Navy,
somebody else's garage.
when I was in the Navy, we had a 2-stage compressor. It looked like a giant Harley engine. And somebody had cut a giant, laser etched a giant plate that said Harley Davidson and stuck it on the front of it. And it was an Ingersoll Rand, but it was, from then on, it was the Harley Davidson because it looked like a giant Harley Davidson engine. Pretty neat.
I got one of those 2 stages at work.
Pretty neat. You make any questions in the chat? So, Chris, what was your favorite part of the camp out? What was your favorite memory of any of the campouts? First, tell us about your first camp out. What it was like being there, showing up. So it would have been the one, not the last one, the one before last, right?
It was last March. I came down with my other friend Chris.
Chris and Chris.
He had never, yeah. So we're the Chris's. Pretty much the moment we got there, Shade Tree sent us out to pick up the kegs in his truck. Yeah, that was fun. I got an Airbnb nearby. It didn't work out very well because like I had to go there to sleep, and I don't know.
It's hard to leave the party.
Yeah, it's hard to leave. Yeah.
But you have a shower of your own.
Yeah. I got an Anytime Fitness membership, so I'll go in there for showers. He rode a Grom for his first bike ever, and he panicked and forgot to pull the clutch in before he hit the brakes, so he almost slammed into a shed. Instead, he fell over.
If you're gonna do it on a Grom.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But by the end of the week, he was riding around in the Honda automatic.
Oh yeah.
David has, yeah.
So does he have a bike now? Did he decide to step up in the world and go?
No, he got a normal job, so like he hasn't had any vacation time yet, so I haven't really seen him since he started working.
Yeeks.
Yeah. I don't know. I like going there because I like helping out, and I run a company. I'm pretty much alone there, so I don't get to actually help other people in my job.
I had a really good time getting there early last time and helping out. I got to paint. I got to scrub floors, clean the kitchen, feed people. It was a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, I got to push poop.
Yeah, you did.
So
Lucky you.
Well, the cool thing, and we're going to do this time, is so by trade I'm a mechanic and electrician. So I talked to Shay about when these things show up on the campground, because one of the problems one they had was there was no hot water. I was like, well, where's there no hot water? And I said, well, the generator's not running. Well, what's wrong with the generator? Well, it's out of gas. It's like, is that it? Is that a gas? So I went over there and put gas in it, got the generator started, which apparently is a skill, because I got the generator started, and then we had hot water, and then we had hot water. And it was like, well, that was easy. So I told Shay, this time we have to have some kind of technical people on standby to do things like start the generator, put gas in it, clear toilets, because before this, it's all been Shelby. Shelby's been doing everything. If something breaks, a water line breaks, Shelby fixes it. So, fuses blow, something trips, breakers trip, Shelby fixes it. So there's got to be some relief from Shelby. So it was cool this time to be able to fix stuff. And obviously I had help from, my sister from another Mr., 7th Sentinel. So it was, you gotta love him. Jake was trying to help clear the toilet, and it was so funny because he was afraid. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get it on my hair. Oh, I'm gonna throw up. Oh. He tried though. God love that dude. I'm not making fun of him. What I'm saying is it was hard for him, and he was trying to do it anyway. And I'm like, it's okay, man. I got this. Just get out of the way. I'll take care of this. It's cool.
Yeah. Says a lot if you think you're going to throw up and you're going to help anyway.
Yes, it does. Yes.
I think I mentioned this last time, but I'm putting in a water filter
Yes.
for the whole campsite this time.
It is cool to help out.
Nice.
Last time they had a military group come in and try to help out the day before. This time they're not going to have it, so they are asking for people to come in a little early and try to help do a lot of the things. So if you guys can show up, obviously call David first, text him, message him on Instagram or something, but there will be a need for help, extra hands there. So if you guys can show up, it'd be very cool.
Yeah.
So Lala says that the Shame is not open in the middle of the day. Don't bother to show up because they're not open.
Huh.
And the other place I want to go, the Ride Factory. I do want to go to Ride Factory.
Time there.
And get a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody went and got their oil changed, I hear. Yeah.
That was me.
Too cool.
My mechanics were duly pleased by that because the last time I went cross country, I ignored the oil change directive and I got home and kind of caught some hell. So this time when I got home, I had to check in at the shop and they looked at the bike and saw that it was indeed really filthy and thought that I had overlooked the oil change. But I pointed out my new tire and showed them the receipt for the oil change, and then it was just, why didn't you wash the bike before you brought it here?
So a little funny story. You'll appreciate this, Lila. I had a friend when I was growing up that his father had 3 Harleys. And he said, you don't change the oil in a Harley, you just keep adding the oil when it gets low. And
That's how my Sporty is. Yeah, my Sportster's that way.
Well, he got an FXLR that didn't leak after the AMF days, and it boggled him that it never got empty on oil. It was freaked him out that it never got empty on oil. And he's like, I've never actually had to do an oil change on it. So, on any of his bikes.
I mean, my Dyna never uses a drop of oil. But my Sportster, it's like, I always take a quart of oil when I travel with it because I know I'm going to at least need that much. And the same with the shovel head.
So now you gave the shovel head to your son, right?
Yeah, but it's still sitting in my back garage. So at some point, I'm going to start putting it back together.
You're going to start you're going to start charging him rent?
Pretty much, yeah.
And then maybe if he doesn't get it, you'll give it to a friend?
Who's always I'll have it available when that friend comes to see me.
It's like one of those, I don't know, I guess we're back to the midlife crisis thing. There's things you want to do because when you were a kid, certain things were hot, certain things were cool.
Right.
When you first started getting into bikes, certain things were cool. And for me, it was the shovel head.
Right.
And so
it's a cool bike. Yeah, it's a beautiful bike.
Like I said, the friend of mine who his dad had 2 of them were shovel heads. And so that's what I grew up in my mind. That was a motorcycle. That was a motorcycle. And so I always said I wanted to get a shovel head.
Yeah.
So you start thinking about this, and and again, I may regret it. I've seen Josh do a lot of work on them, but that's what I want. That's what I think will make me happier in life. I may be wrong, but I probably am wrong.
The nice thing about shovel heads is they are super easy to fix. The bad part about it is they break all the time.
You're fixing them a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Visitors. Who's your friend, Sammy?
That's my friend Niall. This is
Hello.
whose house I'm at.
Oh, it is.
Randy, he's also a Navy SEAL.
Nice.
Oh, my.
I only have one.
Where's the other one?
It's in my pocket. Okay.
Give it up.
Wait.
Yeah. It's the wrong direction. Drunk people beat you up.
I'm not drunk.
Nobody's drunk.
I can't hear you at all.
I can't hear him either.
I can hear him. I heard him. He said sailors are never drunk. They're always ready. I hear you, buddy.
Hey.
Cool.
20 years expeditionary warfare. That was my life.
I can his hair.
You may have to translate. I can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
You just need to wave and say hello.
All right, what do I need to do?
Wave and say hello.
Maybe say hello.
So can you get him down to the camp out?
This week?
No, next weekend. He's probably gonna be on the boat.
On the boat? Wow, that's rough.
I'm on submarines. I ain't even on. I got leave. Just stopping by for a little bit.
So what does he do?
Oh, that's
DSVs? Sammy, what's he on? DSVs?
No, I'm on submarines.
Yeah, but you said you're a SEAL, right? Do you DSVs?
No. She was joking.
I was excited. All right. That's something I got to play with for a while. Was swimmer delivery vehicles, and they were actually very fun.
Yeah, no,
You got to translate, Sammy. We can barely hear him.
What is it?
I work on missiles.
Missiles.
Oh,
He
is
works
it-
on
Works
missiles.
on missiles.
So
Yeah.
are you a GM or an MT?
I was on
Both platforms. He was
Huh.
Ohio class,
Yeah.
and then went to
Yeah,
GM.
I worked on
If you look at him when he talks, you can hear him.
Oh, that's how
Very cool.
it works. Okay.
Hello now.
I just gotta start the camera and then you can do
You got to talk into Sammy's ear.
Oh.
You have to whisper into Sammy's ear.
Yeah, and it'll come through his head and out the microphone.
All right, on.
Yeah, that won't bring me. Just whisper in Sammy's ear.
Right on.
Yeah, no, we used to work together.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Back in the days.
Okay. So that's how you end up in Georgia. So I actually was on that base. So I'm assuming you're down by Queen Elizabeth, right?
No, I'm in Kings Bay.
Well, the Kings Bay is right.
Oh,
So I was actually on that. I worked in that base in the port ops. I was actually I was a gunner on the port boomers. So when they were bringing, when I was
my
back, when I was still
grandson's in
in
Kings Bay.
Brownwater, we actually would board the boat in port ops, and I was a gunner to bring the boats in. So we're threatening all these people who are these grandpas that are out there fishing with their grandkids who keep coming into the channel while the boomers are coming in. You have to run up on them and tell them to get back to shore. They're out, and literally these old guys will see these subs coming in and try to come up beside the subs to talk to the guys up on the freaking bridge. And it's like, you can't come up here, dude. You got to back up. I didn't like being the mean guy. But it's.
For us, it was entertaining.
It was always funny though, because there's these guys like, I just want to talk to him. I was like, sir, you need to back off or we will open fire. But it was like, come on, man. It was a good time. Coolest thing about Kings Bay, I don't know if they really did it. Last time I was in Kings Bay was in 2010. But 2007. But we had to go 3 times a week when they got a new CO, and he wanted everybody to go to the physical fitness center and the entire base PT together. All of the physical centers.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty fun. So.
Yeah, we do it by command now, thanks to that.
I was wondering how long that would last, but it was like, you get a new CO, he wants to change all the rules.
Yeah.
But it was.
With the COVID crap, we ain't allowed to do nothing together.
That makes sense.
We do it all
That makes sense. Zachary Lewis, hello. All right. Sorry to bore y'all with our sea stories, but you know it's important. Important that sailors swap their sea stories. Good time.
That's fun stuff.
Sammy, bring that guy. You got to bring that guy to the camp out sometime. Let me get him a beer.
One of these times he'll come down.
Oh, I would love to come down now. I just can't.
You'll make it. So, Sammy, let's plan a trip. So, right outside, not far from the base, there's a Dick's Last Resort. So we'll all have to go there. That seems like a good place to bring a sailor. That's a good place to bring a sailor.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out like a good place to go down there.
Tell him if he could get stationed in Port Canaveral, he wouldn't be far from the camp out. Because there's a.
Yep.
Well, to get stationed in Port Canaveral,
He's gonna have to re-enlist.
Oh. Do 20, man. Pull 20. Come on. Do it.
Sammy's
I went in, did my 8, got out, and then when Gulf Storm happened, I came back in and I finished off my 20. Or no, but 9/11 happened, I came back in and finished my 20. I actually came in the year before.
Excuse me.
She's a lady. Whoa, whoa.
I even turned away. I tried to block it. Sorry.
It doesn't help if you've got the thing in your ears. You can't turn away.
I turned away, but I'm wearing it.
I put my hand right here to kind of deflect the sound.
You just echoed it
Right
back.
into the microphone.
It's like, here, let me turn away. Okay.
Sorry.
All right, back to us. Chris,
Yeah.
what was your favorite memory of the camp out?
No, that's
Oh, the Chris.
down
I'm
there.
Chris.
He's under us.
Video.
I can't remember.
Sam's not being very nice.
Oh, why are you doing video thing?
Singing at night around the campfire.
Oh,
Sea shanties.
You see him? Still singing. I can hear them.
yeah, sea shanties were a lot of fun. Tell the sailor if he comes, we sing sea shanties. Be ready.
He actually knows sea shanties.
So do I.
Sure.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I'm going first.
We sing them when we do operations.
We're losing him again. We're losing him. We can't hear him now.
He was just talking about singing the sea shanties on deck.
We used to do them during the mid-watch. We would be down in go down the engine room, and the engineman would always sing. It's a whole lot of fun. The engineman and the deck guys, the BMs, the bosun mates would always sing. We're always singing because I think they just get bored otherwise.
Yeah.
All right, who have we left out? The Gmod with the black box. We haven't asked her any questions.
I don't think she's got much to say.
She's being pretty quiet tonight.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time keeping her shut up.
All right, so Chris,
You have no idea.
what are you looking most forward to at this camp out?
Yes,
My son interacting with everybody.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. So how old is your son?
17.
I was just checking.
Okay, well that'll be fun. He's old enough to enjoy this stuff, but he's not too young that the things are going to overwhelm him, and people are trying to keep him out of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to ride his MT-07 down the entire way, but we have it on the back of the pickup right now.
You can pull into Walmart and have him pull into the camp out on his bike.
We only got to like 38 degrees today in town, so he's like, I think I'll wait until I get after Chicago, then we'll see what temperature it is.
I'd say he should probably, when you pull off after you cross the Florida line, that'd probably be a good time to let him off. Because literally,
well, that's 2 days from now. Because it's 21 hours from here, and we're stopping at Barber Vintage Motorsports Museum on the way down.
Nice. I love that place. I need to go again.
I'm so bummed I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I need to do a proper video on it next time, because when I did it, first time I did it, I'd been making videos probably 2-3 months, and it did not. I mean, you get to see all the cool bikes, but I did not get to do them very good justice.
Yeah, we're only gonna spend like 2 hours there. I don't, because it's a 10-hour drive that day.
We spent 4 hours in it and didn't even get to see all of one floor.
Yeah.
I went to see Wheels Through Time in 22, and the chick I was riding with, she had certain time that she would allow herself to see stuff, and so I was able to finagle the motel around the corner. So I was like, okay, well, go ahead and go to the motel, because I ain't done here yet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's the Lila we love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carry your ass, lady.
That's also why Lila rolls alone.
If you can get somebody, I mean, it's just like riding. If you can get somebody that's like-minded to ride with, you'll love it.
Yeah.
If you get somebody that doesn't take breaks when you do and doesn't want to ride as fast as you do, or has to pee more than you do, that's why, like, Jess, I know Jess gets a big rap about not riding with other people, but I get it.
I get it too.
There's certain people you ride with that want to stop. There's times I want to stop every hour, and there's times I want to ride 3 hours straight. So if you're with somebody, it's hard to get copacetic,
It is. Well, and that's the nice part about having a cardo or something. You can be like, okay, well, next stop is yada, 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 and see you there.
Well, that's the good thing about, so when I was riding with Diana, when she rode with me, we've been married so long that our bladders are about synced. So we have to pee at the same time. We get thirsty at the same time.
Aww.
So it's like, oh, you ready to stop? Yeah, I'm ready to stop. So
that's adorable.
Yeah, so it makes it cool. Obviously she can't ride with me because her body's kind of worn down by the lupus and stuff, so she can't ride with me. But it's like, it is. I mean, it just makes it easy if you have somebody who is so synced to you. It's funny because if we're watching a movie or something, I gotta stop because I have to pee. When I get up, I come back. She's in the other bathroom because she had to go pee at the same time. It's kind of funny. But
remind me, hey Rainey, can I borrow your bike for a little bit while we're down there?
Yeah.
I need a bike that me and my wife can fit on.
Oh yeah. So what do you have?
I have a R1200 RT, but I'm not bringing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Take her out on it. I trust you. You'll love it.
Well, I'm thinking about upgrading to a newer version of my bike because I got the whale shark version, the really ugly one, and I'm thinking about upgrading to your bike because there's a ton of them on the used market right now.
Yeah,
but
because everybody's switching to the R18s.
Yeah,
which I'm thinking about switching.
I really like the handling of the 1200. Though it handles better than any other bike I've ever had.
That RT, I still miss it. I haven't had that. When I bought the Gunner, I sold that bike, and it was the hardest bike to sell because I made so many memories on it. I always say that bike was intuitive. If I would think about turning and the bike would turn, I would think about leaning, the bike would move. It was just such a good bike.
Yeah.
I have my Harley Fat Bob, and that sure it handles good, but nothing like that BMW.
Oh yeah, they're made to ride.
What kind of mileage do you guys get on your bikes when you're doing cross country with high speed and wind and all that?
Once I hit 75, I can get about 55 miles an hour. The rest of the way, it's about 45 to 50. On 70?
No, not miles an hour. I'm talking about miles per gallon.
Yeah. That's 5 miles per gallon. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not going 45, 50 on. No, you know better
Yeah.
than that. You've rode that highway.
Yeah, I
No,
know,
it's
right?
so going back and forth to work, I average about 39, 40. When I get on an open highway, get into sixth gear, it just goes. I mean, put it in sixth gear, lock it into. What the hell is Sammy doing?
I have no idea.
But I put cruise control on and it just
camera
goes.
better.
Yeah,
What
I
kind
thought
of car
that's
is
what
that?
it was.
Looks like an
Sorry.
MG or
Oh,
something.
wow.
It's a Triumph
Triumph.
something.
I knew it was
Triumph
good.
something.
Is it a trophy? No, just kidding.
I have no idea. Oh, my thing is stuck now. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh
Randy,
no.
No. That's
I was looking at a Gunner. They're real pretty bikes.
I love the Gunners, dude. So I had the green one.
The one I'm like eyeballing is the Vegas.
trying
The
to.
Vegas kind of looks like
Oh, so I can lean.
more custom model or more, the bigger front tire.
The Vegas and the 8-ball are the ones that Arlen Ness customized.
Okay.
So they've got like the Vegas has a smaller front tire. It has, I think it's spoked, has more chrome on it, and then the 8-ball is the kind of with the Gunner. It's the rough version. It's got a wider front tire. It's got a lot of more aggressive look in the stance to it. But that Gunner for me, man, is once I got on it, I knew it was it. And I rode a couple other ones. I even rode the owner of the shop. I rode his Vegas. He had a lot of etching done on it, and they were the same price. And that Vegas looked awesome, but that Gunner just blew my mind.
The Victory Hammer is supposed to be the muscle bike version.
Yeah. But I just love that Gunner. That was it. I'm done. And then crickets. Okay. Flip just stepped in. Sorry, we just shut everybody out.
Who did?
Bring the sailor back.
Oh, hey.
No, I'm kidding. All right, so Sammy, what karaoke are you doing this time?
Oh, I have no idea.
I am trying to find people to back me up because this time I feel like duets this time. So I
You need a duet?
Well, I want to do Whiskey Lullaby and I want to do Seven Spanish Angels. So
Friends in Low Places.
No, I'm so over Garth Brooks.
No.
I love Garth Brooks still, but if you were there, I'd do it with you.
Ah, okay. I'll be there in October.
Shots fired.
I'll do it in October.
I have
Or what's that one? Country song. This is not a country song because there's nothing about trucks or.
You Never Called Me by My Name.
Yeah.
David Allen Coe.
Yeah, I love David Allen Coe.
I have a list. So on my Discord, I have a list that's probably got 20 songs on it now that I've put songs on that I want to do for karaoke.
I'll have to check that out. See what you're.
Everybody add their songs. Everybody add their songs that they either want to do themselves or want somebody to do for karaoke.
I have never done karaoke.
There's always the first time.
Really?
My canned song or my go-to was the Safety Dance. And,
in karaoke?
Yeah. And
okay.
then into my 30s, it was the Kings' Return to Sender.
All right.
So
what are you gonna do this time?
I don't know. I'm in my 40s now. I gotta find something. Probably go the.
You're in your
direction.
40s? Oh my gosh.
Mariah Carey.
I'm so fucking old.
Mariah Carey. It's not nowhere near Christmas.
So I picked a song I want to do for David.
Songs.
I picked a song I want to do for David. I picked a song that I want to sing for Shade Tree. And I got a song I want to do for me. So I've got a lot of songs to do. And I got one I want to do for Cindy. I was going to do at last time for their anniversary, but it was hard to get on karaoke because those friggin' kids. But
Hopefully they won't be there this year.
I'm hoping not. Hopefully, if they're charging $100 per person, maybe they won't bring all the little kids. Even if they do bring them, somebody needs to put their foot down and say these kids need to be off the. Can't. Number one, kids should not be on the frickin' stage, because if y'all even like in a lot of the videos, you'll notice during the karaoke, first they're standing around the stage, then they're on the steps, then they're up on the stage, sitting on the stage, and it's like somebody needs to tell these kids to go to bed. This is ridiculous.
It's like 1:30 in the morning and they're still out there singing.
And they took over. Yeah, the kids took over the karaoke, and the guy that was doing the karaoke was like, "Well, let's get all the kids out of the way, then they'll leave." They didn't. Once the kids knew they could sing, they just took it over, and everybody else was like, "Well, I can't sing I can't put my assless chaps on up there with my leather hat and sing Turbo Lover now, so forget it." Because there's songs you'll do around your friends, you won't do in front of a kid because it's just not appropriate. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What you got to think? I mean, it's like, would I sing this around my kid? Would I want somebody singing this to my little sister? It's like, no. But one of the damn kids was singing a dirty song, and I'm like, whose kid is this? Who is singing this damn song? But it is what it is, I guess.
Hey, Rainey, can you post your Spotify playlist for the sea shanties on your server?
I will.
On your Discord server?
I'll put it on my Discord.
It's almost gone.
I will.
Nice. Oh, that does the thing to the jaw.
All right. Well, I'm missing some of that. Yeah, kids at the camp should have curfew. So if anybody knows, like, at the Great American Camp out that Jesus Christ, what I can't remember that guy's
Adam
name.
Sandoval.
Adam Sandoval.
Yeah, he at his camp out, kids have a curfew at a certain time. There's a line. The kids have to all be on the other side after a certain time. And again, this place is small. Forgotten Angels is small, but somebody needs to say these kids need to leave. They can't be up around the stage. Because it even made the comedians a little upset because they're doing their skits and they're doing dirty skits. These are adult comedians.
Well,
and these kids are running back and forth.
Yeah,
the kids are running back and forth. And the one comedian made the little comment. He's like, "I'm gonna go to jail for because this kid just heard my skit." And he was saying something like, he says, "Oh, I went into a biker gas station and we walked in, his foot stuck to the floor and it was, there was jizz all over the floor of the toilet seat." He's like, "How'd that get there?" As this kid goes running across the stage.
Kid ran by.
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, this kid's going to go ask his mom what jizz is now. I'm in trouble. I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to go to jail tonight."
That would be a bit disconcerting.
But yeah, it was funny at first, but after a while it was like even Michael Winslow, you'll see in the videos where he starts making like foot noises. It's these kids that were running back and forth in front of the stage. His entire set. And they thought it was funny. And it's like, somebody get these kids, jeez.
Well, see, now I don't know if I should go ahead and book a hotel instead of camp.
Like, no,
you should
camp because we're going to be there. Yeah, camp because we're going to be there.
Yeah.
I have hotels because I got like a CPAP and I don't sleep very well.
I will say there were some adults that were. Yeah, there were some adults that took control of their kids, like Any Two Wheels, him and Lindy. They made their kids go to bed.
Yep.
So
he's a great guy.
I will say that it was not their kids.
They are.
I don't know whose kids those other kids were. It was like, Lindy was like, "Yeah, my kids are going to bed at 10 o'clock. That's it. They're going to bed at 10 o'clock," which is usually when their karaoke really kicks off.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I don't know, man.
Well, and the other thing I'm thinking is like, man, I don't know. We'll have to see what Wednesday looks like. A part of me wants to try to get there as quick as I can now and like have an extra day or something.
I'm gonna get there.
I don't want to push it either.
They said they said the earliest they wanted people is Wednesday, but they said I could come early on Tuesday because I was doing the well stuff.
Yeah, I talked to David directly and asked him if it was okay if I came Tuesday.
Yes, and I can't stress that enough. Make sure David knows
just because I'm
Yeah.
down here already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said
I know. Since I was coming so
Wednesday.
far, they said I could come early last time.
I'd guess the earliest I could be there would be sometime Thursday evening, but that would still give me a whole day of Friday to, you know,
Friday
possibly
and
help
Saturday.
out or hang out or
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep us updated though.
yeah.
Last
Well,
year, last October, they said people were showing up a week early and they were eating all the food.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true. And then expecting more to be provided, which I was like, what the hell?
yeah. There were
Oh,
people
sorry.
complaining. Well, like the first day we were there was there Wednesday, and we were setting up, trying to set the stage up, moving stuff around. And so Cindy's like, well, there's a lot of people here. Let's go ahead and get them some food. You know, we'll feed some people. And somebody was complaining that all we had to eat was sandwiches.
Yep.
And I'm like,
Somebody else
are
wanted
you
to know what we
serious?
had for vegan options.
Nothing.
Grass.
Go out by the
Absolutely
pond.
Plenty
nothing.
of grass.
Go out by the
I
pond.
Plenty of grass on the ground.
I gave them potato chips, and they looked at me and said, "Well, these are fried in oil. What do you?" I was like,
I
"Oh,
need everything's
vegetable
yeah.
oil.
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
yeah,
this is where Sammy's hat comes into play.
oh yeah, yeah."
Yeah. And again, you know, it's
I
like,
don't try to please anybody, so they were pretty lucky that I even bothered with the potato chips.
well, you can't,
Yeah.
again, you can't please them all, but it's like, you got to remember, this is
Yeah.
a free camp out.
Yeah, go
Nothing-
buy
Literally.
The first,
Yeah.
and I know, you know, for those of us who've been all the way back, and, you know, Jerry, I'm sure remembers this, Sky remembers this. We first got there was no food. You got there,
Yeah.
you met everybody, and everybody's like, okay, well, let's
go
go
get
eat.
something to eat.
And
Yeah.
it was like, okay, well, we need beer. Let's run up to the beer store and get beer. Nothing was
Right.
provided. And out of their,
Get your own shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
David and Josh, out of the kindness of their hearts, is like, well, we're going to run up and get some pizzas. Well, we're going to be cooking out tomorrow, but there's nothing today. We'll run up and grab burgers. You know,
Yeah.
so people were pitching in money for beer. People pitched in money for food. People pitched in money for pizza. And then starting like the third or fourth camp out, people were like, where's the food? Where's the beer? And they didn't, the kegs, I didn't think
Yeah.
didn't start until like maybe last March. So that's a new thing.
I don't
Might have
know. I
been-
just thought that it was kind of disrespectful.
It was very disrespectful.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
I
got
had-
there on Tuesday in October. I got there
Yeah.
on Tuesday,
Yeah.
and I went to Walmart and bought food
Me too.
for Tuesday
Yeah.
and Wednesday because I
Wednesday
knew
and
that they didn't
Thursday.
do the seafood boil
Yeah.
was usually Thursday night, but
Yeah.
Oh,
Even
see, I didn't know
before
about any of
that.
that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
actually
So
a new
I
thing.
bought food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hopped in
That-
somebody's
that-
car and went and bought food for myself.
Yeah, usually breakfast
That
wasn't
first
until Sunday
happened
morning.
in March.
Yeah.
So what pissed me off probably the most was in the first few campouts, they're like, hey, there's coolers inside the Yingling hut. If you want to buy beer, put them in the coolers. And so we'd go buy a couple of cases of beer, come back, throw them in the cooler. So this time I went back, I bought a couple of cases of cooler, not this but last March, I bought a couple of cases, put them in the cooler, came back an hour later, it was all gone. I'm like, where'd all the beer
Yeah.
go? It's like, well, yeah, that's all the beer they bought. I was like, no, they didn't buy that beer. If you drink
Yeah.
beer, go, hey, there's beer to be drank. I'm gonna go buy some, stack it around the cooler where as people drink it, they can throw some more in. But that's just the mentality, I guess. So I am not against charging $100 to have people come there this time. It's still, that's cheap. That is so
Yeah.
cheap.
Way cheap.
It's a good deal.
Way cheap.
It was, so we went up to the Land Between the Lakes. We all camped on the same spot, but usually those camping spots are like $50 a piece. And the guys that had gone up to TMMR, that was like $110 for a day, or for 2 days. It was for 2 days. That didn't
Yeah.
include food, beer, T-shirts, all the free stuff they were handing
Yep.
out there. It damn sure didn't include a drawing for a motorcycle.
No.
No. So
Thanks.
Well, and
I-
it's easy to miss the real reason for the existence of this.
Of the camp out. Right.
Yeah, there's
that's a
there's
good point.
young people involved who are
Yep.
I'm going to meet David and Cindy and a bunch of my brothers and sisters of the road. And when I plan a trip as an adult, self-proclaimed, I plan ahead. Otherwise I wouldn't take the trip. I plan for
Right.
my meals. I plan for my
Right.
shelter, and I don't expect it to be anybody else's issue. Now, I know because as a member of this community, most of us are incredibly kind people, and
Yes.
it's baloney when people take advantage of that.
Yes. I don't know if you remember the one right before the wedding. People were showing up that didn't even know that it was an event. They said, "Well, somebody said that there's free beer and food here." They didn't even know what it was for. They had no clue what a Forgotten Angels was.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But yeah, it happens.
There,
Yeah,
and
Lala
we had
says
we had the biker gang that came in and parked in the back in October, and they were causing a whole bunch of trouble.
yeah. They stuck to themselves. Would come out to grab beer and food and go back to their corner.
Yep.
It's like, really? Lala
I hate
says
it when I miss a good biker gang.
you wouldn't have you was fine with missing this one. Yeah, Lala says we bring our own food, drinks, etc. That's bring what you need.
Yeah.
And it's you almost feel like you need to, they shouldn't have to provide everything.
Yeah.
My wife is actually upset that she's not going to be like cooking out in the campsite.
Well, one of the things that Papa said when I got there was every time you go to the store, grab some extra, bring it back, and just drop it off at the supply hut.
Yeah, that's what we did
So
before.
that's what we did.
Grab water, grab some food, grab some stuff.
Yep.
Well, the water will be drinkable now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Well, that's good because I hate the idea of all those bottles in the waste stream.
Yeah, and they were all donated before, so now those people can donate something more important than bottled water.
Like beer.
Yeah.
That makes me feel less crazy because I actually have a little water filtration filter that I can put on the end of a bottle and filter out water.
Oh, speaking of which, yes, make sure everyone bring your own pimp cup for beer because there'll be kegs again this year. That also cuts down on the plastic stream. So,
yep.
I bought a lot of cups for it.
Nice. Southern Thunder. Yeah.
I bought 750 cups.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have an orange one and a black one.
Sorry.
They gave me all this stuff to give away, and I keep forgetting. So, what do I got? So I got the keychain.
Oh, those are nice.
And Law Tigers gave me a bunch of junk. Obviously, it's Memphis. So I got, these weird guitar keychains.
Ooh.
And
Law Tigers always gives away a lot of cool stuff.
Law Tigers. So this is an insurance pack. It goes in the top of one of your saddlebags. It has a little pocket.
Oh, that's nice.
Where you can put your insurance and registration. It's got a sticky back on it, and I have mine on the top of my trunk. So you can put your insurance and your registration inside it. Just stick it up inside your trunk.
I have mine in my windshield bag.
There's lip gloss, chapstick, always important for bikers. More keychains.
They are so big that my last two orders from Partzilla, I think. I think it was Revzilla, one of the two.
Revzilla? I didn't know there was a Partzilla.
Came with a sticker pack of all Law Tigers stickers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I have this to give away from my commercials.
Oh,
I need that.
Throttle locks.
It's a throttle lock. Now I use it. I don't use this.
Wow.
I use it as a helmet lock on mine. So I lock this part to the
handle,
the side rails.
Oh.
And then I put my helmet strap in here, and then it comes with a cool key.
Oh, there you go.
It's supposed to lock your front brake down.
It's supposed to lock the brake to the throttle.
You can literally grab it and just yank it off.
You know, I hate to admit this, but I never lock anything up.
I electronically. So the BMW, here's what's cool. The Harley, if the key's close to it, it'll start, and you can drive it until it stops. The BMW, if the key is closed, you can start it, and when you get outside of 100 feet, the bike dies.
Oh, that's cool.
If you don't have the key.
That's fine.
That's better than the Harley because you can start it with the key nearby and then just drive off, and as long as you don't turn it off, it keeps going.
No kidding.
Well, with the mileage mine gets, they'd be fucked anyway.
So
They're not going very far on 20 miles per gallon.
with my big meat hooks for handlebars, they don't allow the bike to turn as far as it used to. Um,
Uh-huh.
so you can't actually put it into that position far enough down where you can lock it. Um, so I actually have one of these alarmed disc brake locks
Yeah, I got one of
that
Oh,
I
those
can,
too. Yeah.
yeah,
I've
that I
heard
can.
those are really noisy,
They're very
That's what I hear.
shrill. They're shrill.
which I guess is the idea.
Yeah, if I'm in a hotel room right out front, I'm gonna come running out and want to know what the hell's
Oh,
going on
yeah.
with my bike.
Yep.
And I hope you have a good
Yeah.
answer.
You know, I took to taking a really cheap bike cover with me, and it solves that whole soggy dew point in the morning thing. And everybody's just kind of, I think people figure there's nothing valuable under there, which they're probably right about that. But I never lock anything up, and I've never had a problem except for one time somebody stole my gas out of my bike.
Well, I will tell you the ultimate trust story. So, as
Okay.
we were talking about my first attempt to go to Forgotten Angels, I made it to Atlanta and I was physically and mentally done, and I hopped a plane
Uh
to
huh.
go back. Well, I
Uh
had to
huh.
have my bike shipped back, and it was
Ooh.
at the airport Hampton Inn in Atlanta, and it was there for a week and a half. And
Wow.
I had talked to the lady at the desk and said, "Hey, this is what's going on. This is my story. I know it don't mean jack to you, but that bike means everything to me." And I'm actually kind of heartbroken that I'm in such a position I can't ride my bike home. I actually feel some kind of way about it. And she's like, "Well, honey, I want you to know." She called me honey, which I was like, right away, we're on good terms. Okay.
Yeah.
She goes,
That's
"I
a
want you to
southern thing, isn't
know
it?
when I'm here, I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll tell the other staff." And so she didn't expect nothing, but I had like a 20 in my pocket. I said, "Well, here's for your trouble." And I don't know after I left what was going to happen. I called there
Yeah.
like 3 days later and said, "Hey, I've talked to the shipping company, and I was talking to a lady there, and she goes, 'Oh, this is me, hon.'" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah,
Honey.
hey,
Honey.
so this is me again, and it's Bike Guy, and they told me they're going to be coming for it within the next week." And then I got an email at one point saying bike's been picked up, and a little while later, bike shows up at my door, and I was like, all things considered, I could have had no bike,
Honey
and
child.
Yep.
Hmm.
would have had to deal with that, or I had already started making plans, like just in case. I had a open airline ticket kind of saved in my thing of, do I need to fly
Assessing your
back down there
insurance
and deal
coverage.
with this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I get that. I've just been pretty lucky though, like this last trip, like I said, I don't lock things up and I use rock straps, but I got one of those blue cargo net things
Yeah.
and I strap it over everything. And when I go into a store, I cram everything up under there. And I think that people feel like it's just not worth fucking with trying to get shit out from under there. And I've left it for a good amount of time. And I know I shouldn't rely on the honesty of people, but I haven't had any problems. And
I've
it
always
helped.
depended
Well,
on the kindness of
It helped.
strangers.
It
that's all
also
locks
helped that
do is they keep the honest
yeah.
honest. You
But
know.
my bike also looks like a whooped up piece of crap anyway. So,
I
but it's
like
my
your
piece of
bike.
crap. I love my bike, man.
Yeah.
It does
Nice.
everything I need it to. Goes
Hell
really
yeah.
fast. Takes me from A to B. Love that bike. Yep. But
I'm
yeah,
I'm
so that's my story.
I'm pretty trusting too. I tend to think most people are busy dealing with their own, and
Exactly.
as
Yeah.
long as I'm respectful and I stay out of their way, not as a
Yeah.
rule, but mostly it's been my experience. If I'm respectful and I stay out of people's way, they
Yeah.
don't have no problem with me, and I don't have no problem with them.
And if somebody wants it, I'll fall back on it's insured.
Yeah, well, it's not worth my
Yeah.
life, is the way I always look at it.
That too.
If you want it so bad, you're willing to take my life, then
Yep.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Here, you
Yep.
go, do you.
Yep. Besides, I've got a couple more at home anyway.
Right. I mean, I'll be sad about it, and
Yeah.
I'll feel some kind of way about it. But ultimately, if I get to go home to my life,
Yeah,
there's another day ahead.
exactly.
Well, hopefully, my bike doesn't break down this year.
I hope not to.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
It's been a tradition so far. Every camp out, I've had bike issues. My
Really?
yep.
Oh, no.
Double fingers crossed.
Last March, my bike wouldn't start. The carburetor was all clogged. Because I thought I had it in storage for a couple months, but it was in storage for. I forgot that I hadn't ridden at all the year before. so the KLR had a majorly clogged carburetor, and then
Oh my.
and then I brought my Harley down in October, and my rear brakes failed.
Damn.
Oh, I remember that. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
So
No good.
Only problem that I had was my alarm kept going off randomly, and apparently the smart siren that some Harleys came out with, there's a 9-volt battery attached underneath the seat right next to the antenna for the alarm system, and the 9-volt battery recharges every time you fire up your bike. Well, this one lasted from 2015 until just a couple months ago. Isn't that weird?
9 volts are awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I never would have thought of it, but I was trying to problem solve it, and it's like finally my mechanic was like, okay, well, see if you have a battery here. I was like, yeah, but I don't want to fuck with it. I took it down and they took it all apart, charged me $20 and had me on my way a half hour later.
That's
Nice.
expensive
I love
for a
my
9 volt
mechanics.
battery, but at least you fixed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my mechanics. Well, the battery was $60.
The 9 volt battery?
$60 for 9-volt?
Well, yeah, because I figured since it
Got
was
that
like
Harley
a
logo on it, huh?
what? Oh yeah,
Like a
and it was
rechargeable.
still made in China anyway. But I figured that since the Harley version did so well performance-wise, I might as well replace with the same thing. So
That's why
that
I'm a
was my
stickler for
thought.
interstate batteries.
Yeah.
I've had such luck with those interstate batteries that that's what my
Yep.
mechanic told me to get, and I've had no issue.
So you know what I'm saying then.
Yeah, every battery I pulled out of the
Yep.
bike that wasn't an interstate, that was the problem.
I've always had luck with Yuasas, except for I'm actually going to go to a bigger battery on the Sportster because it's under amped.
Uh-huh.
But the problem
Oh,
is,
that's not good.
the old Sportsters, you had a hole where your battery went. Now you have a pocket that's molded in plastic.
It sucks getting that thing out of the Harley. Holy crap!
So I've got to figure out a way to get a bigger hole because the battery's actually and it's not very much bigger. It's like a half-inch bigger. So I've got to make just a little bit more room. So I might have to build something. And if I do build something, then I want to get the side covers back on. So a lot of engineering to be done. I wish I knew a good engineer.
The new Harleys, I got the 2019 Softail, and that getting the battery out of that thing is a pain in the ass. It's mounted underneath the shock, and so you have to there's a piece on the side that you have to there's like 3 layers to the side that you have to remove to get to the battery, and then you have to wiggle oh god, it is awful.
I want to say I think it was one of the Triumphs that Weems was working on, that the battery actually, you have to jack the bike up to drop the battery out from beneath the frame.
Holy crap.
But
That's
just
horrible.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah. British engineering is not meant to be worked on by the average person. Who's Kitty? Oh, there's a
That's
kitty.
my cat. Yeah.
Oh, that's a regal-looking cat.
He's
That's
a
Zipper.
tuxedo.
Yeah.
He weighs 16 pounds.
Oh yeah.
We were
He
gonna
wants
bring down.
dinner.
We were gonna bring down our dog, but I thought better of it because she's too young she doesn't listen to you yet.
Oh yeah.
It was good this
Better
time.
not, then.
This time there were a lot of well-behaved dogs. I remember what it was like 2 years ago. Somebody brought
I'm gonna
a
run
big
feed
lab.
him before he bites me. I'll be right back.
Okay. Somebody brought a big lab. It just had it running around the campground. And luckily it was a lab, but finally somebody said, you gotta put your dog up. So he doesn't like leashes. I can have him on a leash. And they're like, well, then you gotta leave.
Then why'd you bring him?
Yeah, why would you bring him? You can't put it on a leash. And it was a well-behaved dog. He just run up and, but I can't imagine if it was a bull, a bad bull. Pit bulls are good, don't get me wrong. But I can't imagine it was a breed that people can't control. I think the worst two breeds that I've ever seen are Dalmatians and dachshunds and freaking Chihuahuas.
Any of the small dogs that people just don't bother training them.
No.
Like, oh, they're too small to hurt someone.
They're vicious. They're vicious. They're easy to kick, though. They're very easy to kick.
What people don't understand, I've owned animals my whole life, and most of all of them, unless they've been trained otherwise, are lovers. To you,
yes,
you're part of their pack, and they are still at their core an animal that can become overwhelmed. And when you take an animal to a large event, there's a much higher chance it can become overwhelmed. It's hard on the animal, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's as much their fault, they're reacting. But sometimes things happen because you've overwhelmed or overstimulated your animal, or the event has, and the very thing that needs to be done is a cool down period, or a leash, or just keep you close to the pack. When they're allowed to run like that, somebody ends up getting nipped. And then
there's also alligators down there. So.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, I have a story about that, but I'll say out during the camp out. So I used to run a lot.
Never bring Bubba then.
Well, before my neck surgery, I used to run a lot, and I was in about 11 running groups. And some of these women in there were like, well, I don't like being out by myself, so I'm going to buy a dog. And I go into these chat groups, and they're like, yeah, these women are getting attacked. Everybody should get a dog and run with a dog if you're a woman. And I'm like, only if you want to go to jail. Because if you go out with a dog, and that dog is protective of you, you've never had it out of the house before, and you're running this way and somebody else is running this way, as far as that dog is concerned, they're running right at him.
Yeah.
And he is going to attack. And I've been in the park here, and these two ladies were running with their dog. They were just out where they were walking with it. And as I ran this way, because the walking path goes this way, the run path goes this way. And as I got closer, the dog started barking and growling and straining at the leash, and they thought it was funny. And then the dog started like trying to pull out of her hands. And I said, if that dog bites me, I'm going to get it put to sleep. And she's like, well, he's just trying to protect me. And I'm like, if the dog bites me, it's going to get put to sleep. And it won't be my choice. This is Mississippi.
Yep.
If that dog bites someone, they put it to sleep.
The issue is that they laugh when the dog's doing something wrong, and they think so the dog thinks they're doing something right.
Yeah.
Because the person's laughing.
No.
Well, and if you get a dog for home defense, make sure there's two different things. If it's for home defense, all it needs to know is your family. And if someone comes over, you might have to get them comfortable around it. But if that dog is not comfortable being out of the house and you take it out of the house, and you're the only thing around that it owns, it's going to protect you with its life.
Mm-hmm.
And mistakes will be made. That is a horrible thing to do if you don't. So I used to help. I never was a military dog trainer, but I was a helper. And one of the things we did was you'd go in when they're ready to decommission the dog. The dog is trained its entire life to protect its owner, protect its handler. Before they will let a dog go to a home and be rehomed, they have to decondition the dog. And one of the things you do, you get to put on the suit, walk in, and shove its handler and see what it does. The dog cannot attack you. The dog can't growl at you. The dog can't posture on you, because if they can't get that out of the dog, they have to put the dog down. Because they know anybody here that has a dog that was a prior military dog, they have to decondition it. Basically, they turn it back into a puppy. And they have to do that because if they don't, the dog is not safe to give to a family, because then it could kill a family member, it could kill a visitor, it could kill Aunt Sally when she comes over for Thanksgiving. And
not Aunt Sally.
Aunt Sally, yeah.
I didn't like Aunt Sally anyway.
And that's a great parable for the need for understanding of the mental health of our troops, because people come back from experiences and they need a little space, they need a little bit more slack, and they need some, maybe it never happens, but they need some untraining or some understanding. having several members of the military in my family, I don't know. I always try to thank our service members. You know this because the freedoms I get to enjoy, the riding the motorcycles across the country and meeting all these people, those freedoms were paid for by people who, at the very least, deserve my respect, and at the very best, deserve everything else I can give them, because it's all off of their backs that I get to do what I love.
Sick bastard, I can't show that
Yeah.
comment, but you're right. Those goats have really messed up eyes. But I can't let it go in the chat. Sorry. Love you, guy.
I have a lot of military in my family, and most of them are pretty cynical about their service.
Sure.
It's weird, and I get it when people look back on their military, especially like Vietnam vets and some of the vets early on, and they look back at the military now and go, "What the hell happened?" You know?
They're Iraq war vets that feel they were used.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't have. I mean, I've been through more wars than I could possibly count. I got all the effective ones, but it's just weird. So yeah, we get they call ours decompression, and just like the dogs, you have to go through psych evaluation before they'll let you come home from a deployment. And if you're
Really?
not ready to go home, you don't get to go home. This ain't all the troops. This is more frontline troops, close combatant troops, first contact troops. If you go through the decompression and they don't feel like you are ready to go home, you don't go home. And I've had friends that have had to stay in decompression for a month, 2 months, because they're just not ready to go home. The sad thing is, at some point, they're like, "This is as good as they're going to get," and they go home anyway. So
I worked in mental health for 25 years at a state psychiatric facility, and we got a lot of people in there when it just became too much, and it was really sad.
Well,
We had a lot of military people too,
that,
because they wouldn't go to the military facilities. I don't know why.
Well, when I first came home from Desert Storm, people had legitimate PTSD. You know, on my first deployment, I got to see beheadings, I got to see, you know, lots of dead bodies and stuff. But we came home from that, and they're like, "Well, you guys can't have PTSD. That's what Vietnam vets get. You guys can't have that because this wasn't like Vietnam. You know, you guys are just the sissies." And that was the mentality for a long time. Because they're like, "Well, this was an easy war. Why should anybody be upset?" Well, there were plenty of guys that got blown up in their tanks, had their friend blown up, had, you know, the hardest part for a lot of us was being up all night at general quarters and being, you know, blue and gold all night long with missiles coming in, and, you know, the toxic alarms going off and chemical alarms going off, and every day you're going to bed. And, like drivers, they say the worst thing about being a military driver, being a convoy driver, isn't getting hit. It's the fear of being hit every time you're on the road for 8, 12, 16 hours a day. And they tell you when you go overseas, you know, every pile of trash is a possible IED. Every dead goat on the side of the road is a possible IED. You know how much trash and dead shit there is on the side of the road in Iraq and Kuwait? It's everywhere.
How can you get through that every day, constantly on alert like that?
That's why people come back so burned out. I mean,
yeah.
And then when you come home, I remember coming home and they decommed us in Norfolk, and you walk under a bridge to get to the Navy Exchange. And I went to I couldn't see the other side as you walked under the underpass under the bridge. And I'm like, so I went to go for my sidearm and I didn't have it. And I freaked out. I'm like, "Where's my sidearm?" And it took me a couple of seconds to realize, oh, I'm back in Norfolk now. I'm in America. But I still felt weird coming around this corner that I couldn't see around. It never goes away. It gets softer. You chill out sometimes, but there's just points. I can't go in a big crowd sometimes now. Weirdly, the camp out I feel comfortable at. But even then, when I go out sometimes when there's too many people, I have to get away. Large crowds in shopping malls, waiting in a steak restaurant to sit down is probably the worst. Because
Really?
I don't know anybody there. Everybody's standing up. They're brushing by you. They're touching you. They're too close to you. And it's better when there's people you know. Even if there's a big crowd, like at the Forgotten Angels, it's okay. Being in a waiting room, standing remotely, or standing outside in a big crowd where there's 10 people even is hard because you don't know anybody and you're ready for somebody to do something dumb, and that's when it's real hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to muddle it down, final thoughts. We're at the end of our 2 hours. We're going to try to cut it off a little bit here. Final thoughts. Sammy left, so Billy, you get to go first.
Well, I hope everyone who is going to the Forgotten Angels here in March has a safe travel. I can't wait to meet y'all. I'll be documenting over on my channel the journey, plus a couple other reviews to come. And I just hope everybody has a nice, safe trip, because I want to meet you. I want a chance to shake your hand, give you a hug, and get to know you.
All right, Toxicarius, final
Hard to top
thoughts.
that.
Yes, again, safe ride. Every camp out I've been to has had a major accident, so drive safe. That's the most important, to be able to get there safely. And let's hope to see everyone, give everyone hugs.
We'll wait for Sammy to come back with her beer.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da,
I don't know what I did with my koozie.
It's okay.
Where's my koozie? Oh, there it is.
To be young and dumb again. Oh, Lord. All right, Sammy, final
I
thoughts.
have
Get
that
back in
kind of
camera.
energy.
Final thoughts, Sammy.
Final thoughts. Mainly just everybody be safe. Have fun. We're all down there to see family. Let loose. Enjoy your time with the people that you may not know that you love right now, but you will love.
Absolutely.
Very profound.
G-Ma.
Well,
Yes.
my final thoughts are that I am not going this March, and I will miss you all very much, including the people that I haven't met and hugged yet. But I will at some point, Bleak, be coming and finding you and hugging you. And be careful down there. Be safe. I will be up here riding around, having a good time, and doing general stuff too. I'll be looking forward to pictures of the new donkey down there. Clog-free toilets, projects getting done.
Yes.
And
No more shit pushing. No more poo pushing.
yeah,
They had to have the septic system pumped every single time we were there so far.
that really says that we're full of shit.
Yeah. They feed us too good. That's what it is.
Yeah, that would be it.
Go to Wawa's
But,
to
yeah.
poop.
So
Final
until
thoughts,
next
poop
time,
somewhere
you
else.
guys. Yeah, I'll miss you all.
All right. From the Peanut Gallery, Joey Stromboli's final thoughts. We all rule and we're making a difference. Absolutely true.
Facts.
Lala says, be the change.
Be the change, always.
Dana Sal says, I will miss you all. Greg Forehand says he's just disappointed. His onesie didn't work out.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Walmart.
Walmart
Yes.
run. That's why there's a
Yeah.
Walmart not even 2 miles away.
Yep.
All right. So my final thoughts, as always, if you can be anything, be kind. But I've been watching the Y
Yes.
Files, and at the end of every episode, the guy says, be safe, be kind, and know that you are valued. And with that,
yes.
you guys stay put. Don't go anywhere. Don't hang up yet. I'm going to let all the Peanut Gallery go. Love all you guys. I'll see you in. So what today is
Bye.
Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 4 days. I will see all you guys in 4 days.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Except for me.
Except
That's
for
right.
G-Ma. G-Ma, we're all going to come
Miss
to.
you.
We're going to surprise you when they just show up. I'm sure
Okay.
it'll probably be pouring and raining, but we'll all show up.
Actually, Captain Judy is going to be in my town, or 3 hours away from me on Monday.
I had a
So-
Captain Judy koozie earlier.
I know. I have one too. I'm going to try and get down and see her.
All right, guys. With that, like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell. Look up all these YouTube channels here. Tox Karis, do you have a YouTube channel yet? You working on one?
I'm too busy as a.
Just wave to him as you drive by his house. The rest of us have YouTube channels. Make sure you look them up. All right, like, subscribe, comment, hit that bell, and I will see you guys next time.